Who's ready to go feed the birds? Who wants to go outside? Miss Scarlett, would you like to go outside? Come on, Bruiser. Let's go feed and water the birds. It's chilly this morning, guys. It is a little chilly. Some frost on the pumpkin. Let's wake up the bird bath. Right, they've been eating some of the bird seed. That's good. You gonna help me feed the birds? Where's your sister? Where's your sister? Is she out there getting into trouble? You ready to go eat? Oh my goodness, all right. Let's go have breakfast. My sons and grandson have been helping me with so many projects around the house, and on this particular day, they were ripping out the carpet on the stairway that leads downstairs. While they were hard at work, I decided to do something a little special for them. Now, if you know me, you know I am not a from-scratch baker. I'm a from-the-box kind of girl. But this morning, I was feeling a little anxious, and I thought maybe baking would slow me down a bit. Baking forces you to be patient and take your time, which is exactly why I usually avoid it. But lately, I've been trying to have slower mornings to help keep my nervous system calm. So I thought, why not? So while they worked away on the stairs, I worked slowly in the kitchen, measuring, mixing, and making chocolate chip muffins from scratch. And you know what? It felt really good. Slowing down, smelling the muffins baking, and then being able to surprise them with a warm, sweet treat as a little thank you for all their hard work, along with giving them a little bit of money. It was the perfect way to start the day. This stairway has been needing some serious TLC for a very long time. The first thing I wanted to do was get rid of all the old carpet so I can refinish these stairs and give this space a fresh new look. I don't know when the rest of the stuff's going to happen to the stairway, but just removing the carpet made a huge difference. I'm also planning to swap out the original 1960s light fixtures. They really don't fit the style of the home I'm going for, but I know someone out there will love these, so I plan to sell them on eBay and find them a new home. Eventually, I'd love to add wainscoting to these walls and hang some beautiful artwork to really bring this area to life. But for now, just getting rid of that old dirty carpet has already made a difference, and it feels like a whole new stairway. I've only cooked a full meal a couple of times in the months since Mr. C passed away. Cooking just hasn't felt the same without him here. But on this day, I invited my sons over to celebrate my youngest son's new job, and it brought me a little bit of joy to gather around the table with them again. With the weather getting cooler, I wanted to try out a couple of cozy crock pot recipes. I made a hash brown casserole, crock pot mac and cheese, salad, rolls, and an apple dump cake for dessert. After I got the casserole going, I poured myself a pot of percolated coffee, which has been my favorite way to make coffee these days, and sat for a few minutes with my menu and to-do list before heading back into the kitchen. Even though I was looking forward to having dinner with my boys, it made me miss Mr. C even more. When I'm around my sons, I can see their father in each of them, in their mannerisms, and the way they laugh, and it warms my heart. It makes me feel like he's still with us. I created a small fall tablescape for our dinner. My boys don't necessarily care about things like that, but they always notice and compliment me, which makes me think secretly they do appreciate the effort I put into making our meals special. My sons absolutely love the crock pot mac and cheese, so that is one that will definitely make an appearance at Thanksgiving this year. Once my sons arrived, I made each of them a glass of tea, just the way my mom always made it, and it's a simple way to make the best Southern sweet tea. My mom always made tea the same way. She'd drop 4 family-sized tea bags into a pitcher. I personally love using these Rubbermaid pitchers. Her secret ingredient, though, was just a pinch of baking soda. It helps to keep the tea from turning cloudy. She'd boil a small pot of water. I don't think she ever measured it, but I'd say about 2 cups for 1 pitcher, and poured it over the tea bags. She'd let it steep for about 20 minutes, sometimes longer if she got distracted. Then she'd remove the bags and add the sugar. For my tea, I added a 1.5 cups of sugar to 1 pitcher, and a 1.5 cups of Splenda to the other. Of course, how sweet you make it is completely up to you, but this is how we like it. Once the sugar is dissolved, I just top off the pitcher with cold water and give it a good stir. To keep track of which pitcher is which, I turn the spout on the 0 sugar pitcher so it looks like the spout is a 0, and I leave the other one as is for the sweet tea. It's a simple little trick that makes it easy for me and my guests when they're serving themselves. And that's it. Perfect Southern sweet tea, at least in my opinion. My sons and I sat together for a couple of hours, laughing, crying, and sharing stories about their dad. It was one of those days that reminded me what really matters in this life of ours, and that's time with family.